One of the jobs you can do to keep your Golf running as smoothly as possible is to regularly change the oil. So that's the job I'm doing today on my 2002 TDI diesel PD engine. What you need for the job is an oil filter and suitable spec oil. You can see here this is 505.01, which is the requirement for the PD 130 engine, and you can check in the owner's manual to find out the exact spec for your engine. You can see in the owner's handbook here that the amount of oil we need is 4.5 litres and the specification is 505.01. As I say, other engines may differ, but this is for the PD 130 TDI engine. First of all, need to remove the engine cover to give access to where the oil filter is, and we will then need to jack the car up to get access to the Sunplug. On my car I need to remove the undertray, which will need some Torx T25 screws removing, but on many cars now the undertray has gone, so you won't need to do that step. You can see the axle stand there supporting the car, and this is the undertray that we need to remove, and there are various screws all the way around it. You can see one's actually missing here, so it's actually quite a useful thing to check underneath anyway. So Torx T25, and we can just go around and remove all of those screws so we can get access. As you can see, we now have the undertray and the engine cover removed. Once the engine cover is removed, you've then got access to the oil filter housing here and the filler cap. So the first stage is to remove the Sunplug, which we're going to do now. To remove the Sunplug you need a 19mm socket. This is the drain tray that I use for all my oil changes. It's a reasonably deep one, but it's also quite wide and fits under the car quite easily. You can see the sump plug on the back of the sump there, and the tray we have beneath it. You will feel when it's about to come out, and it's just a case of trying to hold on to the sump plug so you don't drop it into the drip tray. You can see that is now on the verge of just coming out. One problem you can probably see today is it's quite windy, so as the oil is getting very thin towards the end, it's actually blowing around a bit. And you can see where it's all blowing against the edge, so you just need to make sure that you've got either something underneath or a wide enough tray to stop the oil blowing around everywhere. So up top you just need to make sure you've lifted off the filler cap, because otherwise it can create a bit of a vacuum inside which can allow some oil to remain. And now we just need to undo the filter housing. So this is the tool for removing the oil filter, and that will turn and allow us access to the paper filter inside. Good idea is to have a cloth on hand so that if there's any oil spillage as you remove it, you can then mop it up. Within the oil filter kit you will find two rubber washers which go on the filter housing. One seals it at the top here and the other goes around the bottom part of it. So there's a rubber seal on here and then one round the edge of the housing here, and I'll just use a small screwdriver to lift those off and then to put the new ones on, and those can both be replaced with the new ones that come in the kit. Once you've put the new seals on, then it's a case of just fitting the new cartridge. So just turn it upside down and do the final tightening with the socket. Once you've refitted the sump plug, engine. As I said, it takes 4.5 litres approximately, so I put in about 4 litres, drop the car to the floor and then re-measure it. So I've just dropped the car back down again and removed the axle stand and taken the jack out. So just go put the engine cover back on and then we can check the level with the dipstick. See, over time the foam starts to come off the back of this. I've just added another top up and just have a look at the dipstick. So we're about halfway, which is pretty much spot on. So that's the oil change service done on the Golf TDI. What I'd recommend is after a couple of journeys to recheck the oil just to see that the level is still correct, and make sure you top it up if needed. But yeah, going to complete the service book.